the today's timetable. First, we will have an opening remarks from the government of Japan and India. After that, we will invite 3 speakers, each from representative company of Japan and India, to participate in the panel discussion. In the latter half of the panel discussion, we will have a question and answer session with the audience. So now, let us. Okay, so sure. Okay, sorry for that. The first, let us move on to the opening session, the keynote address. Let us welcome the first keynote speaker. The first speaker is Ms. Shiho Nagano, the Director for Information Policy Planning, METI of Japan. So Ms. Nagano, please.
Namaste. Thank you for joining this brilliant event held by India AI and METI Japan today. I'm Shiho Nagano, in charge of AI International Affairs and Digital Governance. Now, I would like to introduce Japan's recent policies. First, accelerating AI industrial development. Japan is now promoting a comprehensive strategy that integrates foundation models, domain-specific AI models, and company-specific AI systems. By leveraging unique industrial data, we aim to drive innovation across all sectors from manufacturing to services. A key pillar is strengthening computing infrastructure through national projects such as data center deployment and semiconductor supply chain reinforcement. Japan is building a robust environment where AI and hardware can co-evolve. This includes initiatives like ABCI and Watt-Bit collaboration, which enhance domestic computational capabilities. Another major priority is advancing frontier AI development for the coming AGI era. Japan encourages the creation of competitive foundation models and promotes community collaboration, including sharing model weights and datasets. GENIAC is our flagship initiative. GENIAC is the Generative AI Accelerator Challenge launched in February 2024. GENIAC aims to support the originality and ingenuity of private companies and research institutes as they develop fundamental generative AI models. The program is built on 3 pillars. First, the subsidizing access to computing resources such as GPUs and cloud systems. Second, promoting collaboration between developers, industry users, and data holders. Through events and technical matchmaking, we encourage the practical use of high-quality data. Third, strengthening the developer community. GENIAC fosters an environment where researchers can exchange knowledge, build networks, and accelerate innovation together. Through these measures, Japan is nurturing an ecosystem that supports both model developers and database builders, enabling sustainable growth of our AI industry. Finally, let me highlight Japan's recent progress in AI governance. In 2023, Japan launched the Hiroshima AI process at the G7 summit, which produced a comprehensive policy framework by the end of that year. In February 2024, the Information Technology Promotion Agency, IPA established the AI Safety Institute, AC, to serve as a hub for domestic and international AI safety research. Furthermore, in April 2024, Japan published AI guidelines for business, providing practical guidance for responsible AI deployment. The most significant milestone is the enactment of the AI Act in June 2025. This law aims to make Japan the world's most innovation-friendly environment for AI development and utilization while ensuring safety, transparency, and alignment with international norms. In this way, we are developing various kinds of AI policy rapidly recent years. Hopefully, in this event, let's learn cutting-edge AI technology and discuss AI challenges of both countries to foster the strategic relationships between India and Japan. Dhanyabad.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nagano. Before we move on to the keynote address from the Indian side, I heard that the secretary want to take the photo session of the panelists. So we would like to move on to the photo session first. Okay, let us introduce the 6 distinguished panelists one by one. So dear panelists, when you call your name, please come up to the stage. And I'm sorry for that. For some speakers, due to the speaker was changed, but okay, I would like to introduce. Okay, the first panelist is Mr. Sira Madan, the managing director from the BCG. So. The second panelist is the Mr. Shingo Okuma, the Global Partner Sales Manager, high level. The third panelist is the Mr. Satish Tyagarajan, Country Head Tata Consultancy Service Japan. The first panelist is the Mr. Lucas Haywood, the Vice President of the Global Strategy, OneStraction Inc. The fifth panelist is the Mr. Sunil Gupta, the Managing Director and the CEO of Yota. And the last panelist, the Mr. Hirotaro Ohira, the Senior Manager, Research Management Center, Fujitsu Research of India Private Limited. Oh? Okay, is that okay?
They have to stand up for the photo.
Okay, so dear panelists, could you kindly stand up, and then it's time to photo. So dear audience, please take a lot of the photo. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So dear panelists, thank you. But so could you? Okay. Okay. Please have a seat. Yes. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Sorry for that. And then I would like to move on to the keynote address from the Indian side. Let us welcome the speaker from the Indian side. Mr. Golab Jha from the India AI. So, Mr. Golab, please.
Thank you all for being here. It's wonderful to see the enthusiasm in the room for AI in general and for India and Japan working together in particular. Very grateful for your time. What I want to do over the next couple of minutes is talk about why AI is important to India and the work that India AI mission has done to create the enablers to really power the AI ecosystem of the country. So AI is extremely important to the country as a whole because it's impacting the way we work. It has huge potential to make the country a lot more productive. India over the years has been known for a strong IT workforce, and even with respect to AI, it has emerged as a big hub and a talent powerhouse. What's important to make AI work really is to have the right governance in place and see how we can use the potential of AI across spheres, right? It can help businesses, it can help academia. It has already started helping public service delivery. There's a lot that can be done. And as with a lot of technologies like 5G, for instance, or the way we use UPI to drive financial inclusion, AI can be another tool, another technology which we can use to leapfrog on the development parameters. If we see the way India has grown on AI, we were ranked 7th on the AI Vibrancy Index. We had the India AI mission launched in March 2024, and that has helped us improve the ranking to 3rd overall by 2025. And not just the vibrancy index, we see that we are very strong on the skill parameters. We have almost a 200+% growth in talent. The research output as well has grown over time. And what we need to focus on next in terms of taking India to the next stage of development of AI is these 4 parameters. One, if you think about what you need to really make AI applications, you need to have the right foundation models in place, which are customized for the country and not really from the West, because they are able to work better in our context. So that's one thing which we need to get right. The other is having data, because data is really the lifeblood of AI. And there's a lot of data in India, but until we began the work over here, data was mostly scattered and siloed in different places. So making sure that people are able to access data, to use it collectively to create AI applications, that's been an important endeavor for us. We also need to make sure that the country has access to compute infrastructure. We have started giving that in a subsidized way. And of course, all of this needs to happen within the ambit of responsible AI so that we do the right thing. This is what India AI mission has been focused on, right? So we have AI Kosh, which is our datasets platform, which now provides access to more than 9,000 datasets. It also gives access to compute a small amount which is given for free. It has a set of toolkits which you can use to prepare data, and it also has open source models which can be leveraged by the AI community. We have the compute pillar of the India AI mission, which provides access to more than 38,000 GPUs, which are given at more than a 40% subsidy. There's the Innovation Center, which works on creating indigenous LLMs. And we have the Safe and Trusted AI, which focuses on responsible AI. Beyond this, to make sure that once the AI applications come up, the AI startups emerge, we have enough people to work on them. There's a future skills pillar which makes sure that we are working on skilling across the value chain of AI. So right from people who can work on data annotation to also supporting PhDs who can do cutting edge research. So that's been the focus of the skilling pillar. And we have the startup financing pillar as well, which makes sure that we are able to give the right financial as well as non-financial support to the startups, like acceleration, go-to-market support, to make sure that these AI startups don't fizzle out, but are able to do well in the long run and come to the market. The last pillar that we focus on is the application pillar, because typically if we leave things to the market, they may not focus on the right problem statements which are important for a large populace. Hence, what the application pillar does is that it sources problem statements from different government departments, and we run challenges and hackathons to make sure that AI solutions are developed for them. So that's a little brief on the India mission. You can read more on our website, and we have a large exhibit at the expo as well as a part of Bharat Pavilion. So I invite all of you to come and experience. There's a very large exhibit on AI Kosh that I had personally worked on, so I'll be excited to see all of you there. But yes, it'll be great to hear from the panel next. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Golavis. Now let's move on to the panel discussion. As we introduced earlier, today we invite the 6 distinguished panelists. And today's theme of discussion are following 2 points. The first one is that what are the strengths of AI development in Japan and India? And the second point is that what kind of collaboration is possible between Japan and India in developing the sovereign AI? Today, since time is limited, we would like to discuss both points together rather than separately. We hope to hear from as many panelists as possible, so we'd appreciate it if each panelist could keep their first remark to within 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Please understand that if speakers' comment is tremendously long, the MC might interrupt. Sorry for that. But now I would like to hand over the moderation to Mr. Ohira from Fujitsu. So, Mr. Ohira, please.
1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Miyakawa-san. And thanks, everybody. So actually, I'm very overwhelmed to see such a huge audience. And sorry about the people standing backside. So if you are okay, come and sit on the floor here. Okay. By the way, my name is Hirotaro Ohira. I'm from Fujitsu Research of India. I'm based in Bangalore. I recently shifted to India. So namaste and namaskara if there's anyone from Bangalore. So Nanda Hesaru Ohira. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so welcome to the panel discussion today. So on behalf of the distinguished speakers, so again, I'd like to say big thank you to all of you. So this is today's discussion. To start with discussion, let me reframe the theme of this panel discussion. A simple question: why must Japan and India work together for sovereign AI? That is a key question, I think. All right. So let me share the Fujitsu's perspective first. Okay. So what is a sovereign AI? So I think that Japan has a lot of strengths in sovereign AI. Sovereign AI is not just a technology. Sovereign AI is a trust, long-term commitment, and long-term engineering discipline built over the decade. So Fujitsu celebrated the 90th anniversary, 90th anniversary last year. So we have grown alongside Japan. So I think we can say Fujitsu personifies the Japanese strengths in sovereign AI. So what is the focus of Fujitsu for sovereign AI? So there is a many definition of sovereign AI. So Fujitsu defined the sovereign AI as a security. So security comes first. Okay, so centered on the AI and AI security technology, now also that we are developing the supporting infrastructure. That is a very energy efficient computing, sustainable compute technology, as well as hybrid computing. We are developing the quantum computing also, and network technology. So I think Fujitsu is one of the very few companies that can cover everything that sovereign AI needs. That is our strength. Now also we are very working closely with a global partner like NVIDIA to achieve our sovereign AI technology, particularly the domain specific under the very secured environment. That is our strength. So Fujitsu covers the full stack of the capability for sovereign AI. Okay. So, but the technology needs the talent. That is important. So I just discussed the technology part, and on the talent part, so we really appreciate the highly skilled talent in India. Let me share some context here. So Fujitsu is a research technology company, and we have a research center globally. That we have 1,500 researchers on staff in the world. And we are, again, I'm from the Fujitsu Research of India, based in Bangalore. We have 400 researchers on staff. So 400 out of 1,500. So we are the biggest research center in Fujitsu. So that is proof that we are strongly committing to the Indian talent. So I think that India is the most richest talent pools in the world. Okay, so that's why the Fujitsu Research of India was created. We are leveraging the power of talent in India, and to be connected with a very capable, very promising research ecosystem in India. That's why we created our research center in India. So recently, we successfully acquired very capable talent from top universities like IITs and ISC. Also, through the lateral hiring, we successfully obtained very talented people from industry and academia. So with that, we have a strong capability that is supported by a very capable Indian talent. Also, we are a bridge between Japan and India, right? That is our another purpose of the establishment. So let me show one example. So Fujitsu has engaged in the Japanese government program called Lotus program that is aiming to invite the Indian student to Japan under the collaborative research between India and Japan. So Fujitsu has a long established partnership with Japanese university, also Indian university. So we help them to create the best matchmaking. So we engaged in that program as an industry facilitator. So successfully, our application was awarded, and several students from India coming to Japan so soon. They will be financially supported by Japanese government. So with that, as a strategic research hub, we are now doing as a bridge between Japan and India for talent, technology, and working together with academia. Okay, let me stop here. So my sense is that one answer for this discussion theme, I think Japan can bring trust and engineering discipline, while India bring the scale and talent. With that, I think we are totally complementary. We are missing pieces for each other. That is why we must work together, I think. Okay, that is my opinion. Then I'd like to invite my good colleagues here, starting with Sunil-san. Okay.
Thank you. Dhanyabad garu. Thank you. Thank you. I think India's contribution in AI has to be seen from two perspectives. India as a source of supply and India as a source of demand. India as a demand, I think nobody doubts that. I was in a previous panel in the morning and I was talking about if we are 1.4 billion people, more importantly, out of which 1 billion people are carrying a smartphone and who are enabled with internet, we are all creating and consuming content every single minute. No other country in the world has got the type of digital savviness and adoption which Indians have. UPI is just one wave which India has seen, and it has drastically changed our lives. It has gone to 40 countries, by the way, right? Imagine if AI is able to bring 50 such moments into different parts of our life, into agriculture, into education, into healthcare, into entertainment, into banking, into finance, into so many things, because AI by nature literally can revolutionize any part of our personal and professional life. So India as a demand, any use case of India. The second part is any technology we Indians adopt late, but once we adopt late, when the technology has reached its top point and the cost has just come down to very cost-effective level, then we just adopt it at a mass scale. Whether it was a computer revolution or a mobile revolution or a 5G, 4G revolution, I think we all seen that. 2 years back, nobody could have imagined that in India we'll be having an AI Impact Summit of the scale which you can see here. You can just see how the things have changed. India has created its own large compute facility which is growing. India has created its own sovereign models which are getting developed and getting announced in this conference. So much of data sets have been actually created. In fact, Abhishek ji from METI actually talked about Government of India has created more than and compiled more than 8,000 data sources. So across stack, India has come a long way. So if you are able to create a frugal AI economy in India, you are able to create a voice-based economy in India, which means that Indians, 80% of Indians who don't speak English or who cannot write English, but they can very well speak in their own language, in their own Hindi English mix or Hindi English or whatever language they speak, you have literally targeted the largest market in the country. And those use cases, if India and Japan work together, and I'll come to that how we can work together, you have the entire global south and the whole of APAC to target to. Because AI at the end of the day is a complex technologies. People are still learning across the value chain. Few countries will be able to excel on this. India will be one, Japan will be one. So if India with its scale, India with its innovation, India with its skill sets, and India is a large market on which you can test the use cases. Combine that with the diligence, with the deep engineering R&D mindset of Japan. Lean came from Japan. Industrial automation came from Japan. Kaizen came from Japan, right? And I could see the presentation from the Japanese representative. They are talking about how they are bringing factory automation, how they are adopting enterprise AI at a large scale. So if you are able to combine the scale and innovation and skill sets of India and the use cases of India with the diligence and the governance and the deep focus on trust and reliability of Japan, we can not only serve our respective countries, we can serve the whole of APAC and Global South. And I think that is where this collaboration is very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Shin-san, for inspiring our insight. Thank you very much. Then, Lucas-san. Go ahead.
So I think from our perspective, so there was a little bit of a comment earlier around, India and Japan are like puzzle pieces that fit together. I think India and Japan are very, very different countries, but the puzzle piece analogy is very, very true. So first, I think there are common challenges. So both India and Japan, we are middle powers within the world. And so in a world that's becoming more and more sort of extremely polar, I think these, there were some speeches at some of the World Economic Forums around the middle powers coming together. These kind of collaborations are really, really important. And even though we're very different countries, we have similar challenges. So Japan, obviously we have Japanese as our sort of main language, and India has, even more scale when it comes to languages. AI solutions that are able to adapt to those languages effectively become very, very crucial. And so best practices that get developed for tailoring language models towards those individual languages can be shared among our two countries because they're practices. They're not necessarily just tied to one language. As well as that, there's the kind of puzzle piece aspect, which is that Japan has strengths, India has strengths, and they're very complementary. So Japan has very, very strong domain knowledge. So manufacturing, construction. We've spent a lot of time, some may say not very efficient time, but a lot of time in developing up standards and best practices and industrial knowledge. But where we struggle is with scale and it's with agility and speed and the ability to develop very, very quickly. And India has all of that, right? There's no mistake that India is the top IT talent in all the world. It's not by mistake that, the top IT CEOs are all Indian, right? And so the ability to, one, bring the structure and the domain knowledge of Japan into India, and then the ability for India to help Japan scale and accelerate, those are very, very important complementary aspects, I think, to an Indian and Japan collaboration. And make no mistake, AI is a leapfrogging technology. There was a leapfrog, I think, slide before, but it's a solution that isn't just, okay, we're going to go to the next step. It's a solution that says, okay, let's bring this country or this company to the forefront of whatever industry it happens to be impacting. In terms of startups like us, so we are a construction technology startup. So one, we can no longer just focus on hiring the best talent. Once upon a time, startups, they pay lots and lots of money, lots and lots of stock options to get the best developers. AI is starting to eliminate that. And so what is the new role of startups? For us, we see it as a connectivity role. So startups, we have a unique ability to be very, very agile. So we have connections to international standards organizations. We have connections to enterprise. We have connections to startups being in very, very niche domain areas. So connecting that domain knowledge, international organizations, enterprises, governments, and being that connecting layer and being able to move and mobilize very, very agilely is where the value for, I think, startups is going to be. And I think that's where we are going to continue to focus. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much, Mehdi, for having me on this panel. It is my fellow panelists have already covered what are the complementary skills or capabilities India and Japan have. So I'm not going to broach that subject, but I'm trying to, sort of put together my thoughts on what are the challenges that Japan has, right? Having spent about 6-7 years working with customers in Japan, the challenges are very unique. And I think India also have very, very similar challenges. So one of it is when we talk about AI and success of building large language models and also small language models, you need to have good quality data sets. If you look at Japan, and one of the big challenges Japanese have today is number one, aging population. And the aging population means that a lot of knowledge is resident in people's mind and not in data sets. So the first challenge that we, either as an Indian company or a Japanese company, need to solve is how do I gather all of this information and knowledge that is resident and what brought Japan to its forefront in manufacturing and monozukuri into real data sets, and that is going to be a big challenging task for Japan. And we are already seeing engagements of this kind when we work with customers where they're looking to codify and extract this knowledge that is available with subject matter experts into what we call as knowledge graph. Once we have that, in my opinion, that is a very significant sovereign asset for Japan. And this is a single biggest differentiator that can bring value not only to Japan, to partners like India. What does India have? India obviously has talent, and we have abundance of talent. Second, India has built its own AI ecosystem. It's trained data sets. If you look at Aadhaar, if you look at our national infrastructure on payments, I think we have a lot of data sets on which we can train our models. Sovereign AI, probably take 2 more minutes. Sovereign AI is not about saying that I'm going to work outside of the ecosystem of AI. I'm going to work outside of the hyperscalers like Microsoft or Google or Amazon. But it's about creating something very unique for your own countries to solve your own problems. As NVIDIA CEO put it, sovereign AI is more a security asset as opposed to trying to gain independence. So obviously when it comes to sovereign AI, you need to look at problems that are very specific to your country and look to partner with complementary skill sets of countries that can provide what you don't have, so that you have an ecosystem that you've built to solve mutual problems. 2 more points. Number one, Fujitsu, along with NVIDIA, is investing significantly to create the next generation compute. India is looking for computing capability that is sovereign, on which they can process their data sets. India has Sarvam, which is basically a group of large language models identified within various languages that potentially Japan can exploit. So every aspect of this partnership I look at, apart from leveraging India's talent, there is so much that India and Japan can do together with regards to harnessing the knowledge of Japan, harnessing the discipline of Japan, and harnessing the track record of their success and trust that they've built world over to the knowledge and wisdom and the youthfulness of India, to the best of both worlds. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Shingo from High-Reso Corporation Limited. Firstly, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to participate in this event and panel discussions. Let me quickly, introduce about my organization. We, High-Reso, is a Japanese GPU cloud provider. We have our own data centers in Japan, and we are providing our GPU cloud services to our customers in Japan. And actually, we have been serving our services in Japan only so far, but we are currently in the first step to start, expanding our business in overseas, especially in India. So firstly, I'd like to touch to the point about the strengths of AI development in Japan and India. Most of the part other panelists already touched, but for the Japan strengths, I feel like the high reliability of the data, this is one of the strengths of Japan's AI development. So like the data well organized, and also having a lot of data storage and high qualities led by manufacturing and also healthcare sectors. So those are the strengths of the Japanese data. On the other hand, for India side, I think the speed and also the scale, this is definitely the strength of the development in India for sure. Even talking with the customers in India, they are really keen to invest for their technologies. I think Japanese companies are a bit more conservative on that point for sure. So I really feel like such kind of dynamic scalability from Indian companies, and like mixing up these two kind of different directions of strength, I believe that there's going to be a great synergy to work on together. And touching about the sovereign AI, this is some point from Japanese GPU cloud provider. So definitely, the AI demand is growing in the country, in India. We are keen to, support such kind of AI demands, but at the moment, like we only have data centers in Japan. So there's a lot of barriers we can, support on that point. So hopefully, we can have some kind of framework. We can work together as a friendly nation between Japan and India. And definitely, we are also looking into, develop our data center facilities in Japan. We are looking for partner to have data centers here, and hopefully we can also get some support from each side of the government for sure. And not only the how to say AI development in India, I'm talking about the sovereign AI. So I'm feeling that there's a lot of unique AI platforms developed in this country, in India, and those could be transferred to Japan as well. So as a Japanese GPU cloud service provider, we would love to find very unique platforms in India, bring it all together in Japan. And that could be one of the part of collaboration between India and Japan for developing the sovereign AIs. Thank you.
My fellow panelists have covered a lot, so I'll not repeat. I'll keep it super brief. I think we already touched upon some fantastic points, right? So India and Japan both are in an increasing polarized world, seen as more neutral and middle countries. So there's a lot to collaborate on. There's a lot of positivity that this collaboration brings. There are also complementary strengths. As my fellow panelist pointed out, look, India's age today is on average is 28 years, which is one of the youngest population in the world, and working age population, and more, working age population will come into the workforce. So Japan, on the contrary, would need talent insertion, right? So clearly an area where India and Japan can work on, and there are programs in place which both countries have put together. There is, of course, a technology innovation and IP advantage which Japan has enjoyed, specifically around physical AI, right? The physical sector, manufacturing, factories, auto sectors, Japan has quite excelled in the past. We have already seen some recent collaborations around Japanese companies setting up shop in India. Semiconductor companies, collaborating, and ECMS, the electronics manufacturing, we are working together as MITI and METI to bring technology into India. I believe, in the new AI world, there's an even greater opportunity to collaboration to build phygital AI, what we call phygital AI, how you deploy factory, AI-led factory automation of the future. A lot of the manufacturing data that Japan sits on, and with the talent that India has, working together on something like this with the new investments being done out of India, it's something that both countries can actually work together a lot on. There are, of course, very positive relations that the countries enjoy, and we believe, even on the skilling side, there are a lot of programs being developed by both countries, a lot of exchanges possible. So very excited about the two countries, what the two countries can bring together.
Thank you very much for your insightful input. I really appreciate it. And we confirm that we are natural partner. We are inherently work together. We destined to work together for sovereign AI. So as a moderator, I really want to facilitate a very engaged discussion between panelists. But we have 30 minutes only. Okay, I was advised to go straight to the Q&A session. Okay, over to you, Miyakawa-san.
Thank you, my dear panelists, for the lively discussion. Now I'd like to open the floor for the question from the audience. So if anyone has a question based on their discussion, please raise your hand, and so the secretary will go on. Okay. So. And so when you, dear audience, when you ask your question, please start from your name and so where you belong. And so the question was to whom? Thank you.
Thank you, wonderful panel discussion. My name is Aziz. I'm from Kyrgyz Republic. It's also talent pool country, and we work with Japan also, and we copy this outsourcing model from India. And thank you so much. It is amazing. Just one more comment about Hindu language. We have a strong AI community engineers, and we create AI words for every language. Kani TTS, it is free of charge, open source in Hugging Face. Kani TTS, also Hindu included, although you can use it, and Japanese, free of charge. And we promoted this global initiative among, 7,000 languages we have on the planet, and big tech doesn't care about small languages. We solve own Kyrgyz language problem, and we just Kani TTS. You mentioned about Hindu. It is great opportunities here, 1.5 billion, and we want to do something for India. Thank you so much.
Namaste, my name is Neeraj. I'm from Bangalore. So a little bit on me, I was working as a machine learning architect till September 2025 and now transforming into the education sector. So this question is for Miti and Mighty both. I'm sorry, I do not know your names, so I cannot say that for whom it is the question is in particular. So we are Hanamura-san. Okay. Hanamura-san. So we are trying to bring closer industry and academia, where we are taking the projects from the startups, curate in cohorts, and take it to the students so that they can build hands-on learning, basically, in the AI domain. And during this project developments, we are looking, so students need a lot of compute also to execute their experiments. And we need mentors also from the industry where their companies allows them to work as a mentor outside their industry, their respective industry also. So this question is like, what kind of possibilities I can, or the organizations on such a small level can explore on these platforms for this kind of project-based learning in AI?
Okay, thank you for that question. Actually, I'm not the Hanamura-san, but from the METI. I'd like to answer the question. As you mentioned, I really understand that Japan and India have a strong partnership and relationship on the viewpoint of the AI. And so actually, as this event will be also the one opportunity to get to know what Japan, the situation, and also the India situation. So also, actually, the last October, we also have the online matching event between Japan and India, hosted by the government. And I really understand the importance of the relationship, not only the business to business, but also the academia you mentioned. To tell the truth, the METI are also basically following the industry, so we don't have the direct connection to the academia side. It's true. But at the same time, in the viewpoint of development of AI, it is also important to engage the academia things too, as you mentioned. So I'm so sorry to say that I have the correct and complete idea at how the things going on. But yeah, I'm sure we would like to try to pursue and discuss what is the possibility of the cooperation between the Japan and India, not only the business to business, but also the business to academia or academia to academia. Thank you.
Maybe, ma'am, I can answer your question. So, simple answer is you can go to India Mission. I think Abhishek ji is there from India Mission. One of the 7 pillars of India Mission is also supporting the education and skilling in AI. And besides creating regulations around that, they are also funding for that. You must have heard Prime Minister and the Minister of IT speaking about creating more than 500 labs across the country in various schools and colleges. And industry, because in the last 2 years, compute deployment, the GPUs deployment in India has taken a very large scale. I myself is a very large compute provider in India. We are giving it to India Mission for most of the models which are being created in India. They are getting trained on our clusters here. One of the products which people like us have created is targeted specifically for schools and colleges, where we are creating the compute workstation, GPU workstation in the cloud itself, which you can just access using a plain internet connection. So students, wherever they are sitting across the country in a remote area, for sure they have a laptop, for sure they have a mobile connection, a broadband connection, a 5G connection or a broadband connection. Using that, they can directly log into the backend GPU-based workstation and start doing their work, whether it's on a Jupyter notebook or a VS Code notebook or whatever environment they are comfortable with. This is something which comes at a very, very usage-based model, very low-cost model, so that it does not, hurt the pockets also. And besides India Mission, again, as industry stakeholders, we are also providing lots of credits. I myself have created lots of center of excellence in some schools and colleges, where one is that you can access this compute remotely. Second is we are coming to your colleges, creating center of excellence, putting some of the compute workstations there, taking classes of students and guiding them on their projects as well. So these models are available in India right now. If you contact India Mission, I'm sure they can guide you to the right places. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So time limited, so the next question will be the final. Sorry for that.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your very, very kind words. I spent 18 months in Sasazuka, so I sort of sensed, yes, I sort of sensed the difference between Indian work culture and Japanese work culture. The challenge to send Indian workers to Japan is very, very specific. Even after 7 years of being inside Japan, there's still a delta. My question is on the other side. Isn't it easier for your companies to do larger acquisitions, especially in the data center space, and especially in where you have small language models, and make those, quote unquote, Japan and India, and not do this piecemeal, but do it on a large scale, much, much larger scale, hundreds of billions of dollars?
So I can maybe quickly comment on that. So I think we are seeing that. So more and more you see the Japanese companies, especially enterprise level companies within Japan, realize that, okay, the innovation in Japan alone is not as strong as the innovation connected with other countries. I think for a long time, Japan was very, very closed. It was always Japanese quality is the best. Everything about Japan is the best. But as we see, the societal issues that we have in Japan and the scale issues that we have in Japan and the technical issues that we have in Japan, it's become much, much clearer in all domains, construction especially, right? That yes, we have a lot of good and important knowledge, but in order to scale that globally and in order to continue growing, we now have to look outside of Japan. And so you see major enterprise companies, in my industry everywhere, right? We have the top 5 general contractor companies in Japan, the mega super general contractor companies, acquiring companies all over the place, whether that be in India, whether that be in places like Singapore, You see all of the construction consultancies expanding their operations overseas and developing up, similar to Fujitsu, like research centers and innovation centers outside of Japan as well. So I think that is a movement that we are seeing. I think that, ultimately it becomes a two-way flow. And so we do need to import talent. We do need to make sure that Japan itself is shored up. But on an innovation scale, that connection continues to grow globally. And I think you'll see it continue to keep scaling into billions of dollars of investment. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I think you strike the very important point. So I think for Japanese, that is a very important point to look at our challenges. So I think that in Japan, the labor force, we are decreasing the labor force. So we need more talent from India to sustain our industry. So of course the robotics can help us, but I think we need the real human interface is still needed. So I think in that sense, like I said, we can work together. So I think that this is not straight question, but I think yes, you pointed at a very important point. Thank you very much.
But I just have a comment to make. See, I represent this side of the equation. I've spent about 7 years in Japan. There is still a very significant gap between how we see ourselves and how Japan sees India. In terms of policy, in terms of risk, in terms of, lot of other factors which are very cultural in nature. Okay. In the 7 years post-COVID, due to significant challenges in supply chain, they are significantly improved their, sort of investment strategies with India as a focus. So if you look at the two very successful Japanese companies in India, of course, Suzuki stands out. The second one is Daikin. Okay, manufacture for the world with India as a base. These were the two standout companies, but you don't see too many other companies come in, right? It's not that they don't have problems. The fact of the matter is, culturally, I might be politically incorrect to make the statement here, they are very comfortable working with Southeast Asian countries. Okay, so we need to really look at how can we make India a great destination for their investment, not just as a market, for also scaling up our manufacturing capability. Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia are markets where Japanese companies outside of the West have significant exposure to. So that is the primary destination, and those were colonies of Japan prior to World War II. Therefore, there is a lot of cultural integration between these two markets. So there is a little bit of history, so we need to unwind that. I think our governments have done a fantastic job. When Prime Minister visited Japan in August 2025, when they signed the next version of India-Japan journey, there are a lot of commitments made on both sides. Commitments alone do not help. I think commitments need to be followed by investment. Very recently, I'm seeing a lot of banks investing. You would have also heard SMBC is invested in a bank in India. Mizuho has also acquired a bank in India, and that is just a starting point. Once you get the banking ecosystem starting to invest in another country, then you will find capital flow. So I am very, very hopeful the next 5 years is possibly going to be the best time for the India-Japan relationship, given the struggles that Japan is having with the other Southeast Asian partners. So keep this in mind. There is a history associated with it, and we need to work to unwind some of the things that have happened in the past. And that's possibly why there is still reluctance.
Thank you very much. Time flies. Now we have reached already exceeded end of the session. Thanks once again to the dear panelists and the audience. Actually, so we have the small gift for the panelists. The dear panelists, could you stand up? And thank you so much for your kind cooperation. And please give them a round of applause. Now, we would like to close the event. Thank you so much for the participation. And so lastly, the company that participated, the panelists from Japan today, are also exhibiting the Japan Pavilion at Hall 14. A total 7 company, including those who will not present today, are showcasing their work. So please feel free to visit if you are interested. This concludes the event, and you may exit at your convenience. Once again, thank you very much for your participation today. Sorry for that.
I really enjoyed what you said.